Do you think no one else can ever sell projects for you, sell mowing for you, sell whatever it is in your lawn and landscape business? And you just don't know how someone could help you take some of that load off of you so you could maybe build a bigger business, maybe focus on hiring the right people, maybe do more so you can have more success for you financially and for your team? If so, this is the video for you. You're gonna wanna stick around to the very end. I'm gonna make this short, sweet, and simple, but go in depth at the same time and give you some real value. Hey, I'm Jacob Godar. I've got a lawn care and landscape company in Springfield, Illinois, and one in Cape Coral, Florida. With this and having 2 locations, we've had to do exactly this. We've had to build a system so other people can sell things. This has been a challenge. This has been hard, but this is what's allowed us to grow. This is what's allowed us to hand hats off. In business, it's so common. I remember when I started off, I didn't think anyone would ever be able to do the invoices. I didn't think anyone would ever do the scheduling. And one by one, tasks started to come off. It was scary. I had to empower people. I had to hire people that didn't actually drive man hours, which is something that holds a lot of business owners back, but you have to get past those fears. But one of the most challenging pieces is selling the work. And even more so, selling mowing is probably much easier than a project. I hear so many owners talk about how they can't imagine how someone else can sell a project. I know how to sell a project, but you would need someone so skilled to do this. You would need someone that has so much experience in the industry. And that's exactly what we're getting into. So if that's how you felt, if that's where you're at, first, you're gonna wanna start with thinking about all the things in your head when you go out and sell a project. I don't care what kind of project you do. My advice for someone doing estimates, if it was a new business owner and they're trying to take on something bigger, is break it down into the smallest pieces that you understand. We're gonna take that to a whole new level in this. We're gonna think about all the steps. If I'm doing an estimate, I'm thinking, okay, let's use landscaping for an example. There is, we're doing a rock job and there's a little bit of curbing or edging, whatever it is in your area. And I'm gonna say, okay, well, it's going to take this many hours to get the bed ready. It's going to take this many hours to get the stuff disposed. It's going to take this many hours to put the landscape fabric in and this many hours to put the rock in and this many hours to, before rock, maybe put plants in, right? And all these different little things. And these things are going through your head. Hopefully you had it somewhat broken down. Hopefully you weren't just eyeballing it and knowing prices. But if you're anything like me, you were maybe sticking like a installed price roughly for a plant so you could do a quick estimate. Like maybe it's $70 for a 3-gallon plant installed with warranty and it was $200 a ton of rock installed, right? And these are these things, we work these numbers in our heads and we think we're geniuses. We just think it's complex and it took us a lot of time to learn. And what we don't do then though is we don't take it any further. And to go where we're talking about going, you need to take it further. You need to take that information in your head. And now we need to break it down into very, very simple metrics. We use Service Autopilot for this. You could use an Excel sheet, but we use templates in Service Autopilot. And what we do is I broke down all of my thoughts. This is going to be a gold mine. There's 2 things I'm going to tell you, and this is going to fucking change your business. I broke down all my thoughts, but I didn't pile the material together. I started splitting it apart because the message needed to be easier to convey to everyone. If someone else was doing it, then I wanted to take the guesswork out of it, getting to the project people that were doing the work. So we split projects up as material. Bed creation to me. And then as I go down from there, I think of how many yards of rock are getting installed. I create a service line for that. And then I create a service line for how much landscape fabric is going to get installed. I create a service line for a 1-gallon plant, a service line for a 3-gallon plant, a service line for a 15-gallon plant. Then I keep going down. I go to additional hour line, which may be, you just need to throw in some time because you saw a thing. Hey, it's going to be about 3 hours to fix that little thing over there. And you see what I'm doing here? I'm breaking it down into these small metrics, and we create a template for someone where they can just go down and it's asking them all the questions. So they don't need to be your wonderful self. They can be someone else who is using my thought process and checking the boxes. Oh, nope, there's none of that. I can get rid of that line. Or yeah, there is 5 plants to tear out and I need to put some man hours to that. Yeah, there is 1,000 square foot of bed, so I need to put in 1,000. So this calculates the hours it's going to take to do that. And this takes figuring out, this takes testing, and you might have to throw some mud at the wall and getting numbers. And really, if you've been creating numbers, you can extract this information information from those numbers if you have been job costing and making sure your quotes have gone right. Even if you're not doing that, if you've already been quoting away, you can extract these numbers and then start job costing and make sure they're going right. If you're not job costing, that's a whole nother thing. You need to do that as well. I got a million videos about that. Look those up. I'll shoot a million more because it's so important. You extracted all this. You make all these lines. Then you make all the products in service autopilot, but all the products in the system. In a rock bed, I'll put landscape fabric already in there. I'll put a few of our select plants, maybe. Really, I break it down even more. I do a planting line and I do a bed line. I'll put the delivery. I'll put the disposal fee. I'll put all the things that pertain to this job. Just like if it was a sod job and I was building a template, I would put in a sod cutter. I'd put in the sod permit fee. Like I'd do all those things. Now there's more people than just me building them out because I've built them, people have learned them, and now they build more. That's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to break that barrier of what you do in your head that you think is so complex. And it is complex. I'm not belittling the thought that is complex, but it can be broken down. No matter how hard, it can be broken down. When you think that it's not possible, I'm sorry, you're wrong. It can be broken down. And unfortunately, whether you think it's impossible or you think it is possible, you are correct. On the other side of that, call it a playbook. I think I've called it the Bible or the playbook in our business. You might have some variations. For me, for bed prep, I might charge this for getting old rock out or cutting sod out and really getting things ready. But I might charge a lot less if we're just raking out old mulch, and then even less if we're just scraping back some old weeds and throwing landscape fabric down. These are all for however you do it. I'm just giving you thoughts. But now I create a document that goes over the ways I think about this. Okay, bed prep. I would charge this if it's bad. I would charge this if it's not bad. I would charge this if it's in the middle. Laying out the playbook, the Bible of how you think about all the different lines. So then when a person has questions as they go through the template, they can refer to the playbook. They can refer to the estimate Bible and see, what does it say? Where does it guide me here? You are effectively taking your thought process, putting it into written word and a template for others to duplicate. I am telling you this because this is exactly what we fucking did. This is exactly how we take someone who is pretty good at communicating and talking to people and selling and giving them this information, as long as they've got the attitude about no matter what, I'll figure it out, and take them from selling nothing to selling a lot very, very quick. You can do this too. Then this gets dumbed down even more for mowing. You can look up the mowing videos of how we price mowing. I've got a really popular video about pricing and making sure you get a profit. But this is really project related, really being able to hand these things off. And then as you adapt and make this even better, ideally you're using a system that when you create this, then it's going to allow you to create purchase orders for your products, because you're going to get down the road. And that's why I said stay at the end. Some of the gold nuggets are coming right at the end of this video. You're going to get down the road, and at some point it's like everybody starts their business hunting for the materials needed for a project off of the description of the job. You're going to probably start that way. And if you're probably nodding your head, yep, that's exactly what I do. And if you're not, that's awesome that you were above, or that you moved past that really fast. But you need to be able to move to a purchase order system, which means that estimate then creates the purchase order, which is all the materials, all the exact units you need for everything, down to the plants, down to the exact rolls of this. If it's lighting, down to this many couplings and this many fixtures and this much wire. You gave the Bible to estimate it and the templates. And then you've created a system that produces purchase orders. So now when this job goes down the line, this can get printed off. No one has to hunt through descriptions. They can just go to the purchase order. They can go to the job. You've created some kind of rough plan or video notes of how this needs to get done. And now everyone from the beginning to the end has the tools they need to do to, one, estimate the job, to two, get the materials and get it scheduled. Because that's another thing that I thought no one was ever going to be able to do, get the materials for a project. I was like, man, this is going to take forever to be able to figure out how we get people to do that. And we've effectively got people that know how to do that and have been involved in the industry to do that well, and effectively got people that have no experience at all in the industry doing this now and having a lot of success, helping us be profitable and helping us kick ass. Because if you're on our team, you know that it's a sports team and it's all about winning. And we're working towards getting better every single day and making things better like this every day. This is why we share this information, because this is stuff I learned that took me years to grasp, and I'm effectively learning something new every day, and I'm sharing as much as I can, as quick as I can, so you can go faster and you can get there faster. Because these are the tools that took me from taking 5 to 6 years to build $1 million business to building $1 million business in under 2 years, starting from complete scratch in another state. If this has helped you at all, please like, subscribe, share this with somebody else. This would help. If you like this information and you want to go really, really deep and you want a community of people that can help you, I would definitely suggest you look at jacobgodar.com and check out GROW Comm. It opens up quarterly. You missed the first quarter. It's going to be opening up this next quarter at some point, and you can get on the waiting list. It is only open for a few days when it does open. And if you're on that waiting list, you'll get the email and you get access to that group. So please like, subscribe, share this with someone that needs this information, because this is the type of things that if you listen to it and you implement it, you actually take action. The biggest thing in business is taking action. You can change the direction of your business and you can change the direction of your life.